the main part of the festivities.
Anime is gay, how about up the jack, do the race. Anime is gay, ripping nene, I don't care, gay. If you're late to anime, then you're probably a gay. If you are gay, step back, stay away. Anime is gay, it's in Japanese anime. People on the internet are turned on by some anime. Anime is weird because hentai is a sin. And if you talking anime, I'll shoot you in the shin.
Anime is gay, I be repeating lyrics like it's taking Groundhog Day. Sonic says anime is a sin, it has to go in the bin. Anime is gay, anime, can you please go away? Anime is still super triple mega gay. Anime should really go away. Anime is made by the Japanese, I could get a neurological disease.
Anime is gay. Anime is gay, hop out of the jag, do the race. Anime is gay, whipping nene, I don't care, gay. If you like Japanese cartoons, then you're probably not a gay. Anime, just stay away, I hope you die in a cave. If anime was a real person, he would be dead. Because I shot anime in the freaking head. Japanese people should stop making anime. Anime is a problem in the USA.
I remember that from some old Mr. Medica streams.
Yeah. That really makes me want to do some anime when we get to the festivities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Rune would ever show the fuck up.
I mean, he'll be here.
We can do it without him. He can just not have picks this week. It might be what it is. Maybe he's avoiding the show because he's not prepared.
No, it's probably, he's got doggo situations or grocery situations, or he's fighting off trailer park zombies.
You mean trick-or-treaters?
I said what I said, Church. I said what I said.
Get off my lawn, but we want candy.
Welcome to the Church of
Failure. The Church of Failure. Yeah, motherfucker. Where we'll be drafting superpowered suits and talking about my challenging robot parts.
It's true. It's true.
That's what we're doing, right?
Yep. The current solution to the challenge of the robot parts is to make your eyes more expressive.
I mean, yeah. Give me Spider-Man eyes. That'd be good.
Well, maybe it's more like glowing robot eyes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spider-Man eyes, robot eyes, same thing.
Yeah. We are going to delay angering up the blood for me talk about one more day. I made the mistake of submitting to YouTube and buying YouTube Premium, and my YouTube didn't work this morning for a little bit.
Did you get it fixed, or are you just still mad?
I did fix it, but I'm mad because I didn't want to get their service. I just wanted to block ads because their ads are garbage.
Yeah,
their ads are garbage.
So annoying.
They're not only annoying, they spread out spyware and adware and malware. I hate it. And it's like, no, you also have to allow tracking cookies if you're going to see the videos. Motherfucker, I paid you money so we didn't have to go through this dumb transaction. And of course, YouTube, aka Google, doesn't have a live human being who you can talk to. I'm a paying customer of theirs now, and they didn't have someone for me to talk to. I am angry at YouTube, and my plan is I'm gonna be shit posting YouTube every day to talk about how much their service sucks, and I hate them.
All right. Well, 1 year of shitting on YouTube begins on October the 29th, 2023. Yeah. We'll probably not be on YouTube by this time next year. So make sure to follow us over on Rumble.
What'll happen, right, is YouTube will just buy out all the other video streaming services. Once they pressure the other internet service providers to prevent them from working.
I could see that being a thing, maybe, but I don't think some of them would sell.
I mean, why does that matter? YouTube will just run them out of business, set them on fire.
I don't see BitChute selling.
Also, YouTube has no money. That's a well-known fact that they're losing money like all the time.
YouTube is owned by Alphabet, which owns Google. They have money. YouTube itself might not have money, but Alphabet has money.
And also, Alphabet works for the NSA. And you think the NSA wants people to watch unapproved propaganda videos on, fly-by-night streaming services?
And in case you've forgotten, the NSA is part of the government, and the government has your money.
Not only does the government have your money, when it wants to spend money, it just pretends more money exists than it does. Now, I mean, as a consequence of that, it now costs you like $5 to get a soda at the store.
Now, can I do that, but with the length of my dick? I can just decide that I have more length than I do.
No.
Men have been doing that since the dawn of time, Ayrton.
And then, I mean, it might cause dickflation, but I'm okay with
that. So, Church, you were saying you had a review, and Ayrton, you said you had a review for the show today.
I did.
You did. It was the thing you said.
I just said I watched something. I didn't say I had a review for it.
I mean, you could review it. You could put yourself out there.
I'll try. I mean, I didn't pay that much attention to actually give a cognizant review of it, but I'll give it a go.
I believe in you, Ayrton.
I don't.
Good. So South Park Into the Panderverse.
Good title.
A great title. Lovely little. Is that would that be considered a movie, or is it like a TV special? Maybe would be a better term. But no, it's fantastic. It pretty much rips into all the stuff that we specifically hate, which is multiverses and gay, diverse women ruining movie franchises.
I mean, in fairness, I don't hate multiverses. I just hate the way the big comics companies do them because they suck.
Yeah. But that also being said,
I only hate multiverses that existed after 1987.
True. Mm-hmm. But it also takes the digs at like content creators that all they do is just complain about stuff.
Like us.
Well, no, because we just started a new segment so we can have fun and actually talk about things we like. And we do specifically, if one of us consumes some form of media that we enjoy, we do go out of our way to talk about it. But it's fantastic. Eric Cartman gets switched from the main universe to another universe with a black woman.
But Cartman also gets switched with Kathleen Kennedy. Don't forget that's
but it's funnier than that because there's the Kathleen Kennedy who gets lost in the Panderverse by messing with the Pander Stone in Disney's vault to create movies without making any effort, and a mixture of her doing that to fight racism and sexism because Eric Cartman is sending her 15,000 letters a day calling her a cunt. Creates a crossover blend of Eric Cartman and Kathleen Kennedy that is seeking to destroy the Panderverse, and then Cartman and Kathleen Kennedy have to work together to stop it. Essentially, is the plot.
Now you see what I would have preferred they did instead of the Panderstone to have Osimo there. Now that would have been a great callback.
Yeah.
Osimo should have been one of the new Star Wars characters. And that could also hit on the self-inserts that...
yeah. But it could have been an Osimo that's like a giant rock.
But the best line in the whole thing is they send the Cartman Kathleen Kennedy like to a restaurant like the Disney execs do to get her out of their hair so they can figure out what's going on, and she orders it's like fettuccine or something, and she tells the waiter that she needs to fix the fettuccine, they need to add a diverse woman to it and make her gay. And that is the best line in the entire special, is add a diverse woman to this fettuccine and make her gay.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of fettuccine, so I'm not sure anything could save it.
I mean, fettuccine is just the noodle.
I'm assuming it's fettuccine Alfredo.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was some sort of pasta type thing. But
you could do all sorts of good sauces with fettuccine. You can also do shrimp with fettuccine and clams and oysters. Things I can't have anymore. Just pork. Another thing I can't have anymore you can put with fettuccine.
Why can't you have these things, Larry?
Because he's Jewish.
Yeah.
You could have them before?
I could, because I wasn't Jewish before.
Wait. Hold on.
Breaking news, we're also here to celebrate Larry's second circumcision.
No. Actually, the first circumcision counted. There was just like a minor ceremony you had to do to, certify it. It's like, yeah, this counts.
Did they give you money?
We called that penis inspection day back in middle school.
But I just one day decided to be Jewish, and then I went to the rabbi, had a conversation. The rabbi said I'd be the most interesting convert that he'd have, because normally when someone converts, they know like basic stuff, and then he like teaches them the more advanced stuff. And I know more advanced stuff and some of the stuff in the middle, but not a lot of the basic stuff. So he was going, how do I do this?
You got him all kinds of confused.
And he ended up not being the rabbi anymore, because he said, that Obama isn't a bad guy. And in my synagogue, that was not a good conversation topic.
Huh?
Well, this was before Trump was a thing. You see, there's a good mixture of things, and people didn't want to be told Obama was a good guy at that point in time. Obama had made some people mad.
Just a few.
I mean, that happens when you drone strike an entire border.
Well, I mean, that wasn't what made them
But
mad.
anyway, that wasn't bad, Ayrton. You did pretty good. You didn't have any faith in yourself.
So what's your review, Mr. Church?
So let's see. I would say for probably the last, I don't know, 3 to 4 years, I've heard a lot about this little franchise called Five Nights at Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
And my son was very, very interested in the games, the characters, that kind of thing.
Now, Church. Good reference there, Unwrecked. Good reference.
Shame for display.
So Church, here's a question. Were you a Showtime Pizza kind of guy or a Chuck E. Cheese kind of guy when you were at the appropriate age?
Chuck E. Cheese, all the way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, Showbiz was like a regional deal.
Yeah. Chuck E. Cheese.
And they were... And Showbiz Pizza was part of the same robot restaurant chain extended universe?
I guess I don't know, but
No, it was because eventually the robots from Showtime and Chuck E. Cheese did a crossover.
I don't think there are robots at Chuck E. Cheese anymore. Actually,
not anymore now.
You
That's
don't
why
know much about the robot pizza place extended universe, Larry.
Well, I mean, I came from an area where it was a bear and his robot bear jamboree band.
Is
Then it
your
came
does
down.
your last name happen to be Afton, Larry? By chance?
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Right.
And then,
sure
and then I came.
Is it Smith?
It is not. It is not.
Oh, okay.
So then I came down here to the south where the robot band was fronted by a mouse.
Yep. Well, it's a rat for sure.
I mean, he was too round to be a rat. Rats are supposed to be kind of angular and sharp.
Not when they get that fat from eating all that pizza.
I mean, that's true. That's true. So how does your experience with Chuck E. Cheese tie into your experience with Five Nights at Freddy's?
Well, it doesn't really, because again, the animatronics haven't really been a thing since I was wee, and I don't remember a lot of that because alcohol. But I've been indoctrinated in Five Nights at Freddy's and the characters and the sister locations and the balloon boys and the babies and everything as they came out over time. So far that to understand it and better, know what my child was talking about, I endured probably 8,000 hours of MatPat videos talking about fucking Five Nights at Freddy's lore.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, but again, it is the most definitive breakdown of all of that lore that you can get.
But it is just a theory.
Form of chronological. It is in some form of chronological order as well. So, with that knowledge going into this movie, I was able to pick up on some of the subtle hints that were being dropped, some of the character relationships that were displayed, and I've got to say, I'm not sure if Scott Cawthon was attached to this title, but they did a pretty damn good job of hitting all the high notes. Matthew Lillard makes his return to the big screen.
Nice. Church, what I think you need to do is you need to see the version with Nicolas Cage, where he did his own version of Five Nights at Freddy's, where he didn't actually talk during the whole movie.
I still need to watch that because that looks amazing.
Wait, did that actually is that real or are you just shitting me?
That's real.
No, that's
real. That's 100% real. That's totally a movie that happened.
There's a superior Five Nights at Freddy's movie out there starring Nicolas Cage.
Yes,
I'm not sure it's superior or not, but it's basically
he drives around with cases of energy drinks in the back of his car that he just chugs like they're beer.
So Nicolas Cage shows up to town as some kind of drifter, and he becomes like the custodian / maintenance man of an abandoned animatronic pizza joint.
Honestly, and, the film crew just followed Nicolas Cage for a weekend.
And the way Nicolas Cage does his performances, like when they pitched him on this, he said, "I'll do it only if I can, not talk when the movie's being made. And also, you need to instruct the crew that I can't talk and they can't talk to me."
All right.
So imagine Nicolas Cage crazy, but without him talking.
So, anyway, like I said, Matthew Lillard shows back up. He's the guy that gets our main character. I'm looking his name up now because I can never remember it. He's the one that gets our main character the job at Freddy's Fazbear Pizzeria. Josh Hutcherson. And the main character, Mike Smith, is our security guard at Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria. He's explained that he is the security guard because people keep breaking into the place. They want to keep that kind of shut down. There's weird power glitches that go on in the place, and the master switch, all that good stuff. A lot of keynotes from the games and the lore and whatnot are introduced fairly early. But we find out our character has a sleeping problem because his younger brother was kidnapped when they were when they were younger. And
Kidnapped by an
You also-
animatronic animal.
no, by a mysterious person. But then you also find out that our character has a little sister who he basically cares for like a daughter. He's trying to maintain custody of her, so he has to maintain employment. He's got an evil aunt who's trying to do anything to gain custody of this child, which is a little weird. Like, you don't understand her motivation unless it's just for money, I guess, would be the only thing I can come up with. But, that government check for taking care of a child. But, having been involved in the foster system before, it's not really that much money. Like, if you're
It's
anywhere,
only a lot of money if the kids have like a disability, and that has to become your full-time job.
yeah, right, or you have like multiple children,
Which is what the people who do fosters the disability kids generally do. They basically get like a mini hospital of disabled kids.
So, all in all, good movie. Found out that the puppets were actually real puppets and not not CGI. They were animatronics created
shit,
by
he's here.
Oh God, an animatronic animal has shown up.
right. But they were made by the Jim Henson people. Very similar to the Ninja Turtles back in our childhood days. They look great.
So do we get to see a person's head inside one of the heads?
A what?
That was the thing. That was the thing that happened in the Ninja Turtles movie. Somebody got a head caught inside a head.
Well, kind of. There is a scene where an animatronic head is basically trying to saw someone's face off.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a cupcake. The cupcake was probably my favorite character in the whole movie. Animatronic ankle biting cupcake.
You would say that.
Now, you know what I like about your review, Church? Is it perfectly dovetails with my first review.
Oh, what's that?
I saw The Creator, the new sci-fi movie. It's the first link I got over there for your Ayrton, starring Denzel Washington's son.
Oh, I have to pull it
And
hold on.
I mean, yeah. You got to produce a little bit.
The Rotten Tomatoes.
The Rotten Tomatoes, yeah.
Is Rune actually here? He hasn't said anything.
How you been, Rune?
I am, in fact. I just haven't interrupted you guys while you continue with show. But I do have an interesting addition, because you've made me think of it. I have a movie review tonight. Weird
Nice.
shit. Didn't even think about it until you brought it up. And I'm like, holy crap, I watched a movie last night.
So The Creator it starts off as like a retros 50 thing, and like, what if, artificial intelligence and robots were taking care of everything, housework, they're doing jobs, they're doing medicine, part of your day-to-day life, they're even taking care of a nuclear arsenal. Wait, why is Los Angeles exploded? Oh, the robots blew up Los Angeles. Oh. So there's a war.
Wait. Why is this a bad thing exactly?
Well, then there's a war, and we have Vietnam War II, but this time with robots.
Robots.
So all the people in Asia are pro robot civilization. Some of them are even robosexual.
Tell me more.
And the United States military decides to go in and explode them with a $1.7 trillion space weapons platform. And our main character, fails in his mission to assassinate the leader of the robosexuals. And
Which
then
is, obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It is not, actually. It is not. And so he goes to work as basically like a garbage man. He's recovering things from the nuclear blast zone, which includes robots who think they're alive and they're people. And it's all about him learning to think that robots are people. And then he goes on a journey to find a little kid robot, and the little kid robot tries to help him find his humanity, but he doesn't find his humanity in the way he thinks. Goes native, turns on the U.S. government. There are a lot of nuclear explosions. Then the robots win, and the little robot Jesus is celebrating all the destruction and death, even though she wasn't really the kind of thing that was to be like, there's death and destruction and war, and the movie was good. It was done on an $80 million budget. The effects and set designs are all excellent. The actors all do a good job. But the problem is the story. The story is kind of half-baked. It's like this was a book from the 70s and 80s for sci-fi, and they decided to adapt it straight from the book as opposed to adapting it to be a good movie. But if you look at those Rotten Tomatoes scores, somewhere between 67% and 76%, that's about right. It's a solid C+ experience. You're going to have a good time.
Well, I have one question. First off, Rune disappeared.
He did.
Secondly, when do the vaults open up?
They did not do Vault Tech. But I mean, if they had made it a Vault Tech situation, that would have been much more interesting, in my opinion. And the JMS, the second Captain America book, came out, and I'm probably going to drop down on the third book. So the book tells 3 parallel stories. Cap in the modern day, being a landlord, doing home remodeling on his apartment building. And then Spider-Man shows up and says, "Hey, Cap, I need somebody to watch my 6 when I'm going to do some crime fighting in the neighborhood. And you're adjacent here." Now, I think it would have been much cooler if Spider-Man said, "Hey, Cap, I hear your building's rent controlled. Can you get me in here?" That would have been a much more interesting comic story, but they decided to go against that. The B story is Steve Rogers in the past as a scrawny kid who decides to fight the German-American Bund. And then the Bund gets lured into his neighborhood because Proto-Hydra is like, "Yeah, we need you to organize people to murder some Jews in America."
Like you did.
Yeah. And, I'm just saying, Steve doesn't need to be around for all the World War II stuff. He could have just showed up like in 40, 41 when the super soldier serum gets put into him. Steve doesn't have to be an active guy fighting the Nazis every moment, every day.
Well,
It's a full-time job fighting Nazis.
As I return from the blue screen of death, because apparently I'm a malfunctioning sex robot.
Those are the fun ones.
The thing is that at the same time, I just want to throw this out there. I fucking hate snarky shit that makes fun of Steve.
Well, it doesn't make fun of Steve. It says like he's cool because as a sickly kid, he's fighting.
Let me explain. Jokes are jokes, and I'm okay with nice jokes at Steve's expense for being kind of a square, because Steve was always kind of a square and a bit of a nerd. But there's a YouTube video that comes up to my feed every now and again about Captain America doesn't know about Hiroshima, and it's like, no, one of the first things Captain America did when he got out of the cube, we are assured, is he got a fucking book and he read about fucking World War II to know how it ended. He fucking knows.
Yeah.
He undoubtedly fought Nazis in the Asian sphere. It's not like the 2 sections of the war were cut off and walled from each other, and he didn't know.
This is correct. And then there's the C story in this book, all about some sort of demon that's taken over AIM, who's trying to create an alternate Captain America person to be the fulcrum of history. And it basically takes that shitty Neil Gaiman Captain America as a totem thing, and it's now brought into mainstream Captain America. I mean, this is JMS, and he's obsessed with superheroes as totems as a literary concept.
Well, because they also want to redo the Commander. They want to redo evil AIM Cap.
And I want Rajas to come back with vengeance, just so that I can watch the vein in Rune's forehead bulge.
No, I'm gonna do good tonight because in addition to a movie review, I actually, because a friend just sent to me, I have a comic review tonight. I
Heck
am
yeah.
full of fucking stuff tonight.
I got 2 more comic reviews to put out, and then you can do one. And the next one I have is also in World War II time. It's about how Green Lantern is really, really gay. And what it does, right, is it has Green Lantern, Alan Scott, talking to J. Edgar Hoover. And Hoover said, like, listen, we need you to clean up the problems going on in the Justice Society. Everyone needs to be big, happy family, fighting the commies, fighting the Nazis, saving America.
On that note,
and in the end of that little meeting, he reveals to Alan Scott that, like, yeah, I know you banged a dude in the Navy. And I just have to say,
that's what you do in the Navy.
Exactly. That was
There's no women in there.
Look,
that's exactly the joke I was going to go for.
Look, my father was in the Navy.
Queer.
My father was in the Navy. My father was painfully straight because he was afraid of not being straight. And he would have told you that's what you do in the Navy.
Exactly.
There's no women in there. You get a pass
and the thing is, the gay Alan Scott angle isn't the main part of the story. Now, I don't know if you know, they're retconning the Care Bear cousin lanterns to have always been part of Green Lantern continuity.
Yeah.
So
I don't
the
hate
gay,
that, but I mean,
well, I hate 90% of the Care Bear cousin lanterns. I like the cat. I like Dexter. Dexter is fun to me.
I just don't understand. My thing is, I don't understand the need for the indigo and the blue lanterns.
Ayrton,
Hope and compassion feel close enough on the emotional spectrum that you really only need the one.
Ayrton, I sent you a thing.
I like that there.
It's because the
All right, I'll work on that.
I'm going to say something very uncharitable. A friend of mine would be sad about. It's because the idea of expanding the color wheel of lanterns is a lazy concept to begin with.
Yes.
It's entirely based on not the idea of disparate colors, which would make sense, but that comics were originally made in a fixed set of standard colors because of
4-color comics. Yeah, we all know the term.
Right, but the thing is that, of course, they're not limited by that anymore. So the chuckle fucks at DC were like, okay, so what if the color wheel added white and black as the extreme axes? Okay. What if the color wheel was now the 367,000 colors we have? And it's like, why would you fucking do that? Why would you take a simple concept and over fucking do it? Oh wait, DC's in charge.
Also, the colors aren't the thing. It's, Green Lantern was a space cop, and then we had Sinestro, the crooked space cop, and then we had Green Lantern's girlfriend becoming the sexy space cop.
Well, because see here, there's here's the thing. I'm gonna posit, even though it is a great story overall, Parallax is fucking dumb.
Yes.
Okay.
The retcon of Parallax is one of the few retcons that I actually approve of.
No, and that's fine. Like, it's okay to have disparate opinions. We're going to talk about people who don't allow disparate opinions at some point tonight. But the thing is that green is an admixture of blue and yellow, right? So this logically means that somehow willpower must definitionally come from a combination of hope and fear. Right?
Yeah.
Now that's almost really interesting, right? But some idiot, again, bad writing, was like, well, we can't just have fear be a native color on the spectrum. We've just said for decades that yellow is evil. Yellow has to be evil. So how do we explain that yellow is evil? And somebody said, what if evil had an alien parasite that made it evil? And it's like, no. Just Just make yellow a color on the spectrum and make Sinestro a fuckhole. That's what you do. It was the weapon years of Quat. We don't need an alien parasite in Fear.
We don't.
Okay? Because then when you do things like, what if Batman had a yellow power ring? It's not him being a crazy asshole. It's the rare example of fear being used positively. Because the emotional spectrum is neutral. It doesn't have a good evil axis.
But here's the thing. We need to rope it back a little bit. So the retcon, the Red Lanterns is here. So Alan Scott and his gay friend were involved in an experiment with Red Lantern technology, and then the gay friend drowns, or at least that's what Alan Scott is led to believe. But it turns out he's brought into a secret government experiment, which in no way, shape, or form is an allegory for gay conversion therapy. And he comes back all full of his anger and stuff. So it's about, like, an angry, repressed gay man, lashing out at the world. That is
then Atrocitus is born.
no. Atrocitus, was only prison gay.
There's no women in there.
Exactly. Now I want to go into the fourth of the new Conan the Barbarian comic. So Conan is still fighting, necromonsters and zombies, as you do. And he fell into a dark pit, and a spirit of a primal Pictish warrior
Her
came.
name was Shaquita.
No, we haven't gotten to the African part of Conan yet. And there was a Pictish warrior there who filled Conan in on how the dark necromantic magic came about, and Volsa Doom. And he said, "Listen, Conan, I need you to go murder this guy, and do honor and release my people who have been suffering from this horrible magic."
Why the fuck would Conan do that?
Well, because these people tried to kill his Sumerian brothers.
But Conan hates the Picts.
Well, no. He followed a Pictish woman here because she was like saying, "Hey, these zombies overran my people. They're overrunning your people. They're trying to overrun everything." But the reason the Pictish primal warrior was there is to say Kull would be so proud that one of his bloodline is still out there doing good work.
I mean, I like Brul the Spear Slayer, but actually verifying that Conan is a descendant of Kull is stupid. No, we all know why Conan was following a Pictish warrior woman, and
she was hot.
It's called She Got a Nice Ass.
No. Conan did in fact bang her, and Conan defeated the necromancers, and the Sumerians were restoring the land, and then one of them found the evil Black Rock, and that's the stinger we ended the book on. So it's good, solid Conan stuff.
But the Black Rock's not evil.
It is. The Black Rock
it's
wants
not.
to turn this Black Rock wants to turn everybody into lizard men or zombies.
And this is the same Conan run everyone's been drooling over recently?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's in reference to a specific Black Rock that you're thinking of.
Okay, so in the
I'll talk to you about the Black Rock.
In the series
turning everybody into the lizard people and turning the frogs gay.
Kind of retarded.
In the cycle of Brak-Mac Morn, the last king of Free Ireland, who fights the Romans, the Pictish remnant, who are slowly being replaced by modern Gaels, derive their worship from black stones. There's one at the center of a Stonehenge alike, and later in a historical that isn't even about Brak-Mac Morn, it's actually about a Viking, there is a black totem icon of Brak-Mac Morn that influences the fight. But
it's not those black stones.
But it's all made of a translucent black stone.
This isn't translucent.
The thing
this isn't translucent stuff.
I understand that, but it sounds to me like somebody with a superficial reading of Howard said, let's systematize all this shit and make a deeper story about fucking snake people. And admittedly, there is a story about snake people in Call the Conqueror, but it's worth pointing out that in the time of Call the Conqueror, he went on a giant fucking genocide and killed all the snake
Yes.
people. The only
Yes.
people who think that Falsa Doom is a Conan villain and a snake person are people who have only seen Conan the Barbarian or are named Elsfrog de Camp.
Yes. But this thing was
I love you guys, but we gotta move this stuff along so we can get to
Hey.
the meat of the story.
Yeah. I mean, we already got to the meat of the story, and
the draft.
No, I know.
We gotta get
I
to the
know.
draft.
No, I know. We got plenty of time for the draft. We haven't even run up an hour on reviews. So, Rune, tell us about your comic book.
Okay, so in one of those few examples of us talking about manga, over at Webtoons there's a comic. It is structured in seasons, and the new season just started today, and I have read the previous 2 seasons, and it is called Everything is Fine. Everything is Fine is set somewhere, possibly America, with the new government, and everyone is forced to wear giant, like, I mean, they're humans, but they are forced to wear like giant mascot style cat heads that have techno stuff in them and green goo inside so that you can breathe, and they track you and they are aware of everything you say and do. But everything is fine. And they don't really talk about at first how the new government came around, or how everyone ended up wearing giant cat heads, or why, if you are exiled from your community, you can't live with people, and the cops will hunt and kill you. So you have to live in the wilderness like an animal. But everything is fine. And our
Okay,
two main,
I'm gonna say it now. We should ban furries from voting.
I mean, that sounds fine. But the main characters are 2 people who start to notice that things are maybe not fine, because they receive instructions from an unknown source that inform them that if you make a Faraday cage in your basement, they can't hear you.
I mean, that's how the schizophrenia starts.
Oh yeah, the thing is
Hey
that
now.
it is a simply drawn comic that everything looks like it should be saccharine and stupid, right? But the author has gone out of their way. The author is, let's see if I can get their name here. Yeah, I'll find it. The thing is that even though it should be saccharine and stupid, Mike Burchall has gone out of his way to make a deeply unnerving horror comic that does not hinge on gore, it does not hinge on jump scares, it does not hinge on the usual easy stuff. It is entirely tension and context. And no, everything is very wrong. Everything is very wrong. As a for instance, because it is an online comic, there is an episode in which our main characters get out of the suburbs. They win, and they get to go to the next community up, which is a better community at a lake with trees and houses and privacy. And as they are leaving, the government is rolling in flamethrower tanks and burning houses, and it's all set to the most lovely, non-threatening music.
Mhm.
It's such a lovely day. We're just burning houses with people inside. It's okay. This is all fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah,
This is
it
fine
is.
now. Which is frankly a very timely comic when we're talking about the draft.
So let's pull up that bean footage, Church,
Of the draft?
of the draft. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no. Really?
Do you remember what the draft is about, Rune?
I mean, we're going to find out.
No, I told you guys.
He did.
Oh, that draft. Okay, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I kept thinking you were making jokes about the draft.
No, that's fake.
Okay. No. This one I get. Okay. This I can work with.
All right.
So,
And per agreement with Church, I have screen sharing, and I will be the master of the tetrahedral dice.
yeah. Real quick before we get into this week's draft, though, let's go over the Twitter poll picks for last week, rounds 1 through 5. Round 1, Rune solidly took with Doc Savage. Round 2, I took from Ayrton and won with the Tick.
You son of a bitch.
Ayrton comes back for round 3 and 4 with Gandalf and Friedrich Nietzsche, and then I wrap everything up with a pick that was thrown out there that no one else took in Son Goku.
So
Well,
literally both of Church's winnings were stolen.
Well,
Yes.
related to this, before we
Like
jump
the
into
2020
this,
election.
because this is going to be tasty meat. For anyone that is listening, Church and I had an interesting experience this week, because in the
No, it
11th
wasn't.
hour,
It was not interesting at all.
I think it's funny. How's that? Is funny acceptable?
Yeah, it's funny.
Amusing.
In the same way, a homeless person, running naked in the street can be funny.
Okay, so a naked homeless person came up to us on Twitter and started giving Church the red ass about having a poll for Superman analogs. And it's made worse by he basically would not engage Church, who was being a bit of a shitlord, but it's Church, in
Or
conversation about it. Yeah, or you, Larry. So I asked the guy, hey, do you have a better suggestion if you're going to shit talk our poll? And no, not only did he not have one, but he wouldn't even engage in the idea of having one, because in his grand opinion, yes, probably inspired by his ceiling bird, the only answer is that Superman is an analog of Moses and the Golem, and any other opinion is wrong. And why? Because we have to. Because if the DC is willing to pay off to the Schusters, then the Schuster origin is universally correct and the only interpretation.
Right, but the
So this
Schusters said
week's-
it was inspired by other things.
So this
Right.
week's draft will be the top 5 Moses analogs.
Got him.
Sweet, I'm going to use the same list. All right, go ahead and roll that die there, Larry.
Roll that beautiful mean footage.
Do.
You know, I can
Two.
add music in post.
All right,
So,
so I go
so
last
number
this
two.
week.
Oh shit.
That's going to be interesting.
Oh fuck, that means I have to
Yeah.
go first. Damn it.
It is. It is.
It is.
All right.
We'll do this the same way. If you guys want to post pictures in the chat, I'll bring them up.
Okay, hold on. I wasn't ready quite yet. So,
Now no one's going to steal your ship post.
true. Come on. Okay, so my first pick is this handsome gentleman. What? Why is that not pasting in the chat? Son of a bitch.
I don't know.
Because it hates you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
Because you're on a potato.
No. What the fuck is wrong with my computer? All right, Church, you're gonna have to just find a picture of him after I say it.
As
So,
an
since
aside, these have to be super suits in comics, right?
No.
Super powered suits.
Okay.
Super powered suits.
It says super suits, and that's why my first pick is Frozone from The Incredibles.
And Frozone wasn't an Incredibles tie-in comic.
I support this argument because I made that joke last week after show. and you guys can deny it as much as you want, but no. The line is, "Woman, where is my super suit?"
That's right.
It's true. It's true.
So
And
therefore, I think it is a valid
And that's
pick for
Sam
my first pick.
Jackson.
and my pick was a manga. It was an anime. It was adapted into a badly done, low budget American movie featuring a actor who was down on his luck. My pick is The Guyver.
You son of a bitch!
Oh, nice.
Oh, today's gonna George, don't get mad yet. Today's gonna be violence. We are all gonna start strong.
Oh, that is a good one, Larry.
Oh,
That
it
was
is.
literally the top of my pick.
It
That was my
is.
number one pick.
It's gonna be bad today. But yes, the bio boosted armor.
It's okay. It's okay. I've got some other good ones. I've got some other good ones, but I will not fucking
predicted there's
forget
going to be.
bastard.
I predicted there's going to be a lot of anime-inspired picks for this and manga-inspired picks. So Rune, it's your at bat.
Well, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a knife fight for the viewers today because we're all gonna come out strong with some good ones. Because I'm gonna follow up Guyver with probably one of his inspirations, and we all know that it's a
You son of a bitch.
solid
That's
thing.
the one I think it is.
I'm gonna do the Venom symbiote.
Oh, okay.
Right on.
And,
That's
I
respectable.
have to specify the Venom symbiote because it's been worn by multiple people, but it is essentially a super suit.
Yeah.
You know, we
That's a good one.
I'm just waiting for it to
All
get
right.
scribbled on there. Or is that
the
just the
Venom
sound of church searing in anger?
No. The Venom symbiote. I actually avoided picking a symbiote because I knew they'd be hot.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I because it's gonna be difficult. I wanted to get the easy ones out the way.
So, well, I'm actually gonna go the same route as Larry, and I'm gonna knife one of my co-hosts here because I'm sure that this one would have been a big pick later on in the draft, probably even next round. I'm going to go the man in the iron mask himself, Dr. Doom.
Good choice. Good
Okay.
choice, sir.
Okay.
I already knew that one was coming. We were expecting you to be more livid that he stole that one from you, Rune.
Oh no! I had Doom in my theoretical list, but with Doom being off the table, there are other guys who just fill in that niche.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I had to go ahead and get him since Larry's gonna snake me with Guyver on round one. Son of a bitch! bringing the competition. All right.
By the way,
So,
Rune, have you
Ayrton.
seen the Guyver movie with Mark Hamill? It's surprisingly decent.
I have a totally legal copy of the Guyver movie on my computer. Because that is a solid film. I don't care if it has a visual patina that is roughly equivalent to the 90s era Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is an amazingly good film. The sequel less so, but it's still great.
Yeah. So Ayrton, how are you going to channel the shitpost energy for that next pick?
Oh, Rom Space Knight.
Oh yeah.
Because I figured Church had that one on his list too.
I did not.
Really?
Space Knight.
I mean,
wow, I'm shocked
that is an iconic.
There.
That is an iconic comic book character named after a toaster.
And but here's the thing: he is
And had the
actually
coolest
a suit.
toys.
Like there is a dude in that suit. People forget he's not a white space robot.
Yeah.
Now, along the theme of what frequently happens here, I'm going to pick a suit powered by anger and pain. I'm going to pick guts. No, well, I mean, the anime does feature gayness, but I'm going to bring up guts for my round 2 pick.
Oh, you mean the Berserker armor? The
Berserk armor, yeah. So that's on there next.
I I hadn't even thought about that. And you'd
Yeah.
think that I would, because I'm all on the medieval fantasy violence train.
Yeah.
All right, Rue, you're up next.
Well, I'm gonna continue in my let's use the obvious one shitlord stream, and I am gonna throw out there a suit that was inspired by the Venom suit created by the same guy. And when we say created, yeah, I know Jim Shooter.
You son of
the
a
idea.
bitch!
I know that Shooter came up with the idea of the symbiote, but he didn't refine it. The Spawn suit by Todd McFarlane.
You guys are really cutting me deep this week.
It's gonna be a nice
This
fight,
is
man.
revenge. I guess this is fucking revenge. I deserve it.
And
But I
chat,
mean-
Alright.
we do have a section for you guys. If you throw shit out, we'll put it in there.
But not only not only is the Spawn suit intelligent with a wide range of powers, but there have been storylines where the Spawn suit tried to kill Al for not doing what it wanted. So it's both super suit and antagonist, very much like Venom.
Oh, I guess I need to go ahead and secure this one before it gets fucking scooped up off of me too. I'm gonna take the iconic Power Ranger suit, but I'm gonna
Damn it!
go
I
for
had
the
that. I'm
IDW Lord Draken suit, where the gold and white power coins came together.
I mean, that's pretty
And,
cool. That's pretty cool.
So I'm gonna go Lord Draken. Let me see if I can pull that up here.
Well, while you pull that up, I guess I'll. Oh, do I want to do a post that will possibly annoy Church, or one that I think is actually cool?
I mean, can't it be both?
No,
Don't
no.
let your dreams be dreams, Aaron.
no. There's
Don't
no
let
way
your
for it
dreams
to
be
both.
dreams.
It's one or the other. All right, I'll go with one I actually think is cool, and that's the Batman Beyond Terry McGinnis, his bat suit.
I thought of that
Good
one, but did
choice.
not put it on a list.
Good choice.
'cause
Good
that-
choice.
I was
'Cause I was
also
just-
contemplating whether regular Batman suit would count.
I mean,
If you
he
make the
does.
argument,
Also, Batman does have, a power armor suit.
See, that's
So-
that's why I didn't
So
take
the Dark Knight suit.
That's the thing. The reason I
Mhm,
didn't take Larry McGinnis, or Larry Terry McGinnis. Larry, you want to tell us anything secret? The reason I didn't take Terry McGinnis was because I had actually been thinking about the Dark Knight suit, but no, Batman Beyond's the better choice because it
It
actually
is.
got a multi-season run. We actually get to know both the limitations and the capacities of the suit, and it is not just an Iron Man suit. It's actually like a much more delicate, sort of stealthy super suit.
Yeah.
It's a range of effects, not just makes me strong and makes me hit hard. So very good.
but it
Very
does
good
allow him to
choice.
fly.
Ayrton, not a shitpost.
That's right.
Now-
That's right.
Now, my choice might be interpreted as a shitpost. So, what many people don't know is Spider-Man had a TV show in
Oh,
Japan.
I thought about
Yep.
that one.
Also, what people don't know is Spider-Man, that TV show in Japan, had a giant robot that was crucial to the formation of the Power Rangers in the common parlance of Japan. So I'm choosing Spider-Man's giant robot.
That's a good one. It's a bit of a shitpost, Larry, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
You can say it's not, but we all know it is.
And also we did an American version of the 1970s Japanese Spider-Man, which was kind of a cool thing.
Now, Church, can you type that title out on the background?
I'm gonna put Spider-Man's robot.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Rune.
Okay. So I'm gonna spare Church because I don't want to take all of the easy ones. I'm ideally placed in the spread to be the
Oh,
supreme.
I'm out of easy ones, honestly. The rest
But,
of them I actually had to dig for a little bit.
but-
And
Well, that's the thing. I'm gonna use one here that I had to dig for, especially because it's not a usual super suit. It is in fact an innate power of the person, but it is a super suit. The X-Men known as Armor.
Excellent choice.
Oh,
Excellent
okay.
choice.
Yeah, good one.
I was introduced to the character when in their first appearance, where they were a little girl who actually couldn't control their powers. So their armor was trying to keep everyone away by being very, very dangerously
Hitsuko
aggressive.
Ichiki armor.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and over the succession of comics, they had to learn to control their powers for good. But they basically generate a psychic suit that protects them from antagonists. It is a suit. It's just not a normal suit.
Hey, I think it counts.
Yeah,
And
that'll play.
see, yeah, that's the depiction of the of said powers in use there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right,
Very nice.
so
Very nice.
I've got a couple of options here, and I'm not sure which way to go, but I don't think anybody else is going to pick this one, so I might save it for a little later. Yeah, my number 3 pick. I'm going with the mask, Loki's mask.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
And you did really dig for that one.
Well, again, not what people would normally think of as a super suit, but I mean, the mask is the component of the superpowers, not everything else it does.
So yeah. Basically, Loki's mask gives the wearer. Basically, it's a chaotic Green Lantern ring, if you think about it.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it. I dig it.
more or less.
I dig it.
Yeah, I like it. So my next pick is going to be Captain Black Falcon America.
Ah,
Because
yeah.
I know
The American Eagle.
Because I know all of you are going to hate that one. Is mainly why I picked it.
I don't have enough coffee for show tonight. You fucker.
Conceptually, it's kind of cool, but they did it so shittily, and I agree with
the
Church.
American Eagle. I will never, ever forgive them.
I don't know. I like Captain Black Falcon America, but
Yeah,
So-
I'm sure you do.
So I am going along with my Japanese theme for the night, picking the iconic superhero from Japan and all the accessory superheroes who do the same gimmick,
Goku?
Ultraman. No, Ultraman.
oh, okay.
Is Ultraman a suit?
They make suits for other people to have the Ultraman powers when the authentic Ultraman's not available.
So,
And they also made suits for the newest Ultraman to help him, like as a sort of
Better
training wheels.
argument in what the fuck is that movie? Ready Player One. In the book,
Mhm.
there is an artifact that allows you to enter an Ultraman suit
It's true.
and control it
It's
for
true.
3 minutes.
see,
Yeah.
the only reason I had to ask is not because I'm gonna criticize you for your choice, but when I was introduced to Ultraman, the idea was that he was a alien soldier who had accidentally crashed with a human, like in
Yes.
mid-flight,
Yes.
and had taken over the guy's life out of a debt.
Yeah.
And so I was always under the impression that when he became Ultraman, that was just him. That wasn't a suit. If anything, the human's a suit. But
Yeah, but they also have other people in the extended Ultraman family who got the powers too. All right, Rune, what you got?
Well, yet again, I'm gonna be a piece of shit because we all know they're gonna come up. We all know there's gonna be a hot fucking fight for them. So I'm gonna grab one now while the getting's good. But I'm not gonna go for the obvious one. I'm gonna go for one who, frankly, gets really underutilized in film, and I'm gonna say War Machine.
Heck yeah.
Roddy is a solid character in his own right. He's got good stories.
Mm.
I actually think he had better stories than Iron Man. And one of the things that I think is misremembered is that back in the day, in the early part of Iron Man's run, Roddy wore the armor, not Tony.
and during Secret Wars, it was Rhodey in the armor.
During Secret Wars, but also whenever Tony needed to be someplace publicly and couldn't be Iron Man because they were actually keeping with the I am Tony's bodyguard theme. So like Roddy is a serious character. He's not just Robert Downey Jr.'s sidekick.
All right, I still have a lot of good picks on my list, but there's one that I want to get out. It's not the best pick, but you know, I guess I could save it for an honorable mention. But instead, keeping with the fact that we do have a very diverse list here, a lot of African American characters, a lot of Asian characters, I'm going to add to that. And I'm going to choose an African American character that just doesn't get any fucking love anymore. He resides in the DC universe, and he also could have been used in last week's draft. I'm
He
going to
could have
pick
been.
John Henry Irons, Steel.
Nice. Good choice.
That's good.
See, this is our very positive section of the show, so I will abide it. It is a super suit, but I have never liked Steel. I have always thought it was a cheap ass pull of a character.
Hold on, let me get the
the
banner up.
whole reign of Superman was kind of lame.
Yeah,
in my personal opinion.
The reign of Superman was lame.
Yeah, but that's not where I grew up for the character. See, I was a wee lad when Shaquille O'Neal.
That's right.
Played the part in a very, very poorly written movie where the line, well, I'll be dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumbs came from. And it was referenced that might be one of Odessa's recipes.
Well, see,
gross.
At that era, if you had said, Joe, what is your preferred black superhero movie? I would have said Steel with Mario Van Peebles, which is basically what if Mario Van Peebles was a Terminator.
That is also
before we get into it,
I would have said
before we
something
get into our
that's
round
redacted.
5. Hold on. Before we get into our round 5, we should do our honorable mention. What's something that you guys might have thought of, but you just it really just didn't make your list.
So I did have Iron Lantern on there in case I couldn't come up with anything else.
That's
but
a
I
good
feel
choice.
like I can't
Good
do that
choice.
one now because Rune picked War Machine and
No, you could.
I mean, you can. No, Iron Lantern's a whole separate deal.
oh well.
But you probably shouldn't. You should probably leave it as an honorable mention.
Yeah,
Somebody
you
will
should.
steal it from you.
Well, that's the thing. I'm gonna ask this about our number 5s. Is Tony
Well, we haven't gotten
an
there yet.
honorable mention?
I mean, somebody could steal Tony as an honorable mention.
Well, if we use Iron Lantern, basically that's. I mean, I'll give it to you, but Iron Lantern.
Well, because
Iron Man.
in my honorable mentions is Red Dynamo, who had a very interesting story
Excellent.
and is a Tony antagonist. But that's the thing, is that we've mentioned Tony more than once. We know if somebody actually grabs Tony, it's the equivalent of grabbing Superman. It is the ass pull of ass pulls. I actually wonder if Tony can't be on this list because he's just a trope codifier. Because so many characters are in comparison to Tony.
Well, I have a character that's also Tony related for my honorable mention, Tony Ho, the Iron Patriot, who is the daughter of the man who was with Tony building the original Iron Man armor, who Tony brought their family to the States, and she became patriotic American and became a founding member of the USA Avengers.
Is that a different Iron Patriot from the
That is-
Iron Patriot armor that Norman Osborn wore?
She designed her own version that had the similar color scheme.
Okay.
I'm going to throw two out there because I'm not going to be able to use either one of them, I don't think. And I don't think either one of these are ones that would get stolen. But I'm going to throw Stiltman out there as my first honorable mention,
Nice.
Okay.
and Booster Gold as my second.
God damn it!
Is Booster Gold a super suit? I didn't
He
know.
is. He is.
He is.
No.
You
He
can
is.
use it as your number 5 pick because having two honorable mentions isn't really a thing. But I wasn't going to pick either one of those. So if you want Booster Gold, you're more than welcome to take
No,
him for your number
no,
5.
I've another one. I have another one I
Okay.
can use, which is going to be Skate Man.
Nice.
Because in order to be Skate Man, you have to wear the skates, and I believe a
Mhm.
super suit you have to wear. And that is my argument, and you guys can all fuck yourselves. That's what I'm
Shit,
going
we can all
Mine-
suck it.
No.
My number 5 is hard now, actually, because I got
Well,
two good ones.
So, going along with my theme and picking what is arguably the first anime I ever watched, and it's an iconic member of the giant robot genre, I pick Mazinger. Mazinger
Spell that
Z.
for me.
MazingerZ.
Oh, okay.
Was it
Grill Mouth Gundam.
I mean, he's not a Gundam, but
Yeah,
he's in a different universe. They have a magic metal, and Gundam's all about people in outer space becoming the
He's a
future
Gundam with a
space
Boba
people.
Fett on his head. Don't bullshit me.
And like the hero has to fly like a little thing into the head to activate the robot. And for the Gundams, you got to go into like a chest cavity.
All right.
We got Einbricks and Tekka Man Blade.
Good
So
choice. Good choice.
Chad offered a number 1.
All
What is
right,
it?
so Rune, Tekka Man Blade.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna. I was for a moment. I was deeply conflicted, but you actually brought in the clarifier, Larry. Because you've been on this Animu kick, and that's great. And you said you espoused that this is because you grew up with this stuff, that it's very deep in your
Yeah,
life.
I actually, with the exception of Guts, grew up on all of that.
So, well, I would say one character, which I'm going to leave in the background as a possible honorable mention in case somebody else brings it up. I am instead going to go with the stupid option. I'm going to go with an option worthy of Ayrton. And I am going to say Gizmo Duck.
Heck yeah! Gizmo Duck! Gizmo
Obviously,
Duck's an amazing choice.
obviously
It
as a
is.
kid, I watched DuckTales. But for people who don't know, in the subsequent series Darkwing Duck, Gizmo Duck appeared as a superhero, and they were very clever in presenting him as the Superman to Darkwing Duck's I Want to Be Batman / The Shadow.
Yep.
Gizmo Duck is actually a superhero. That he's not just a joke character, even though he could be a joke character. And he is secretly mild-mannered Mallard, whose name I have forgotten, who is an accountant. He is a nervous bean counter who, when he puts on a super suit, becomes an actual servant of justice. So
Excellent choice. So, Church, bring us home with your final pick, sir.
Well, like I said, I started thinking about this immediately after the other show, and I've got some really interesting choices here, but there's only one choice, and I'm honestly disappointed in the three of you that I still have it on my list to pick at this point in the draft. This is a beloved character. It's been seen over many different types of medium, from TV, like shorts. It's been in video games, comic books. There's been novels written about this person.
It's Halo, isn't it? It's Master Chief, isn't it?
You're very close. It's Samus Aran.
Another excellent video game pick.
Pretty good.
See, but I
Samus
don't
Aran.
really play. I don't really play video games. The only thing I've ever played with Samus in it is Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Still,
So,
honestly, I don't think we would have a Master Chief without a Samus Aran.
We absolutely would
Hmm?
not.
We would not.
I mean, you could
No,
make the
definitely
argument that
agree.
Samus Aran is what if Boba Fett was a chick, but you know what? That is an
Also-
unfair assessment.
Also, I am surprised neither Boba Fett nor the eponymous Mandalorian made the list.
oh, that's
For
because
anybody.
Star Wars is gay.
Beskar armor is not a super suit.
I mean, they both can fly. They got
Rune,
weapons built into their
Rune,
suits.
I have Skate Man on my list. Beskar armor could be a super suit.
I deny. I denounce. I endorse Skate Man. I denounce that Mandalorian armor is a super suit.
Also, Rocket Racer could have been on this list. Wasn't on this list.
Well, as we move into honorable mentions again, the one that I almost put on for my number 5 and didn't was Darkhawk, which is
Another good
a
choice.
Marvel distaff of Blue Beetle, who is also a good choice for this list.
Yes,
Exo
but
Manowar.
Exo Manowar, which could have made Sony a bazillion dollars, but they were stupid in how they adapted the Valiant comics.
Prototype from Ultraverse Comics, basically their
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Obviously, we said Master Chief Tech Knight from The Boys. Fuck the
Um,
comet, save the planet.
Don't forget Doom Guy from the Doom Slayer.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting one, and I had to do a little bit of research on this one before I put him on my potential pick list. Marvel's Apocalypse, because while he is a
He's a
damn near
mutant.
omnipotent mutant, his suit was gifted to him by the Celestials and enhance his powers.
I saw that. I thought about that, but I thought that armor was the better choice for a more interesting character. Not because Apocalypse is an interesting character, but because Apocalypse doesn't need the Celestial super suit to be super powerful. It just makes him more of an asshole.
It does.
Well, that's why I thought of a character from a comic that I'm pretty sure I'm the only one out of you guys that possibly Church might have heard of it. It's called Crystal Planet. It was written in part
I've got
by
a full
guitar
run of
player,
Crystal Planet.
by guitar player Joe Satriani, and the characters in there have these cool, like, super spacesuits that they fight demon creatures or whatever with.
Also, we could have did the Destroyer from Marvel Comics that Odin went into with the Odin power.
Look, I'm bricked. If you're gonna do Blank Man, then we have to put up there Pluto Nash.
I mean, the Greatest American Hero also could have been on this list because his powers came from a suit.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it was a
would've been
pretty
funny if you
deep.
picked the same character twice in a row.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. Maybe this should be one of our informal rules. I don't think there's a problem with the same character appearing on multiple lists because we're gonna run out eventually. But I don't think that they should appear either sequentially or from the same person, because then it's just a shit post.
Oh, I was trying to think of a way.
I think it depends on the argument.
I was trying to think of a way to use one of my previous ones from last week to go onto this.
Oh, I know you were, but I'm just saying, like, I'm familiar with.
And
the
I
show.
had an argument.
I don't know, Rune. I think throwing Venom and Spawn back to back in the same draft is equivalent to that same kind of environment.
I don't deny it. I do not fucking deny it. But here's the thing: if I wasn't taking it seriously, my number 3 would have been Tony, just to spite you.
I fully expect one day Ayrton's going to come in here hungover and just be like, yeah, whatever the ones that are like him in the same universe, just put that down. I'm going back to bed.
But what I'm getting at is that I've seen the show Greatest American Hero. Like, I'm familiar with its existence, but I'm not a follower. Right? It's obviously very near and dear to Larry's heart. And it's like, with his level of knowledge, he could probably put it on multiple lists, multiple episodes in a row, and we wouldn't be able to disagree with it. So I don't think that's necessarily the spirit of the thing. But so I get it. Like I agree. Maybe not sequentially, but absolutely
Again,
they should appear.
Again, I think it all depends on the situation. We'll argue it out in that time frame. That's what the segment's all about.
So does that
It was a
mean
lot tighter this week now that everybody knows the format. That's good. That's going to make
Yeah.
Ayrton's job a lot easier of uploading
Yes, it will.
the video.
And
But
So we
Let's,
have two big pieces of entertainment news to cover.
well, hold
well,
on.
hold on.
Before we do
We
that,
gotta do our-
We have to close out the segment, and we need to know what our next draft should be. What I mean, I'm opening the floor to you guys. If you guys have a topic you want to draft.
I mean, I have a suggestion, but I think it might be too close to super suits because we just did super suits, and
What
that is top 5 super vehicles.
No, that's not too close to super suits. I like that.
Okay.
That'll take a little time to dig into because
I will.
there are options. Obviously, I've already thought of about 10, but
Right.
okay, all right, we'll do that. We'll do top five super vehicle. Now, what are you calling a super vehicle? Just a vehicle that a superhero uses, or does the vehicle have to have?
I mean,
There's
like
not
you
that
got.
many vehicles with powers. I mean, besides
I
guns.
mean, I would say you want to include things like the Batmobile, and you also want to include things like
Stop talking picks. Stop talking
No.
picks.
Look, I would argue that it needs to be a vehicle that does something in excess of a mundane vehicle.
Okay.
So it
All right.
can't just be like that one time he drove a car, and it can't be just his regular car that he drives. So you couldn't do like Mr. Incredible's around town vehicle when he's being an insurance guy.
Well, I have 4 already, so
Yeah.
I hate you so much because I think I know what they are.
you might know what one of them is.
All right. Well, that concludes the draft of failure for this week.
To round it out, I do want to throw in there. It could be a conventional vehicle if it is the same vehicle they always drive while doing super stuff. Like if it is the go-to vehicle for super shit.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the this week's draft of failure, the top 5 superpowered suits. We will have polls up over the next week. I probably won't have them up until tomorrow because fuck, that takes a long time to do. But
what the fuck?
What?
I'm sorry. I was looking at our next topic, and I am viscerally angry.
Oh, very good, very good.
Mm-hmm.
That is fucked.
So bring that up so we can anger the Rune.
Well, I gotta ask: is the other subject of note the other individual?
Well, I mean, we do need to refer to both of the deaths because I mean, it's an appropriate thing to do, given the topic of our show.
Well, especially since that other individual did a lot of fun film where he was a scenery chewing villain, and he could have been a super villain. I think he's at least in one episode of Highlander as a Highlander.
No. He was Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series, sir.
Oh yeah. I almost forgot again. Yeah, no, solid. He is absolutely comics alumni.
But this other person isn't being referenced because he's in our normal wheelhouse. But since people who shill for Hasbro and D&D are mentioning things in an inappropriate way, can you bring that up, Ayrton or Church? What's in the
give me
DM?
1 second.
I had to kind of snake around to get a copy of his thing because he blocked me, thinking that I would not be able to laugh at him.
The original tweet in this thread is protected.
I wonder why he would want to protect this original tweet that we're all going to be looking at here in a moment.
Let me see. I'm trying
why
to.
Why would some piece of shit try to hide their receipts? I can't imagine.
trying to open a incognito tab so that it doesn't have all my shit on it, but I bet you can't fucking see shit on incognito.
Well, that's why I snipped a thing of it on my Twitter.
Just share it, and I'll share your screen. Having
Wait, I
to do
can
all
do
the
it that way.
production work. I don't even know why I keep Ayrton around. Fuck.
Just a second.
this.
Pull the screen share. I mean, it's true. It's true. That is important. So here it is from my snipping tool. Sylvia from the Red Room did the quote tweet that I'm referencing here. But here's his thing. Reminder that Friends is aged horribly. It contains a lot of homo/transphobic content, especially around the Chandler character. So be careful what you share. That said, it's a tragedy to lose Matthew Perry, especially after all he blah blah blah.
Yeah, fucking disingenuous, backbiting bullshit.
And then he later said, "Oh no, I was just trying to be sensitive and helpful and kind to other people." Yeah, but by doing that, by making fun of a dead person, you absolute mong.
But here's the thing: making fun of a dead person who's been dead less than 24 hours. He started talking the shit the day he fucking died.
What an absolute asshole.
So here's the thing. Everybody's saying friends. Indeed, it is his most well-known, famous role. Okay.
Yeah, for like one of the worst shows ever made on television.
I want to mention something very important here. So earlier this week, I shared an article. It was very sad-inducing. We didn't talk about it a lot. Bruce Willis is decaying fast.
Yes.
Okay?
He's got a horrible illness that is really bad.
It's extra bad for me because that's the process my mom underwent, and it sneaks up on you how quickly that shit goes when it decides it's gonna go. Right? Matthew Perry was in an absolutely hilarious, albeit often relegated to mid-tier, pair of comedy films called The Whole Nine Yards. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent movie. Excellent movie.
They were fantastic. Yes.
In which he was a dentist, and his neighbor was Bruce Willis, former hitman. They are fucking hilarious. They are the best.
They're not like sports movies?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, I would have thought they were sports movies based off of the
thing is that
title.
all of the Friends people, with the exception of the main guy, what's his name, got low-key Hollywood deals at various points to see if they were to go play.
Wait, who do you think is the main guy in Friends?
The guy who played Ross. He was the main guy.
Because it's always Ross and Rachel, and I don't care about Ross and Rachel.
Yeah.
They can get fucked up. But here's the thing. Rachel got a career in movies I don't want to watch.
Courtney Cox did well for herself.
Courtney Cox did well. Joey was actually in a halfway decent movie. There's nothing but shit. The Lost in Space movie is not bad.
It was not good.
He had a show, and then he had the misfortune of taking over Top Gear after they fired the boys.
Yeah,
which was not a good decision.
And then it's like, well, what about Chandler? And the answer is like Matthew Perry made 2 excellent films back to back that get nothing but shit. I don't know why, and probably could have gone on to do some really great stuff. I want to say he went on to do some really great stuff that we just haven't heard about.
No, he struggled with substances most of his post-Friends career.
Probably part of the nature of his problem. And he died by drowning at 53, which is way too young, and frankly a really sad fucking death. Right?
Now
I do want to say that there was a tweet that I shared. I think Larry may have shared it as well or seen it, but there was a quote that he had a few years back about how, when he passes, everyone's going to be doing exactly what everyone's doing, and mentioning Friends. But based on here, I can just quote it directly. Let me pull it up here. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't know we were going to get into Matthew Perry, but the quote is as follows. It's a little lengthy, but bear with me. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. I'm still working through it personally. But the best thing about me is that if an alcoholic or a drug addict comes up to me and says, "Will you help me?" I will always say, "Yes, I know how to do that. I will do that for you, even if I can't always do it for myself." So I do that whenever I can in groups or one on one. And I created the Perry House in Malibu, a sober living facility for men. I also wrote my play, The End of Longing, which is a personal message to the world, an exaggerated form of me as a drunk. I had something important to say to people like me and to people who love people like me. When I die, I know people will talk about friends, 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 and I'm glad of that. Happy that I've done some solid work as an actor, as well as given people multiple chances to make fun of my struggles on the World Wide Web. But when I die, as far as my so called accomplishments go, it would be nice if friends were listed far behind the things that I did to try and help other people. I know it won't happen, but it would be nice.
Now, also, I want to go ahead, Ru.
I was gonna say, Church. That is a very deep and meaningful addition to the gospel, because for all the bullshitting around we do, and we are shitlords of the highest order, we give a fuck.
It's true. It's true. Now,
You know, substance abuse is something that hits everyone. It affects everyone. It's affected me more recently than some others, and it is something that when someone takes the time to try and help others out of that dark pit, even when they're in it themselves, is it supersedes any criticism, any critique, anything really
mhm.
of their character, because that's is something that I don't know very many people that would have the willpower to do.
Well, especially when they are actually struggling with it, and they're like forthright about it. We all know, we're all familiar with the Hollywood cycle, or the politician cycle of get screwed up, get caught with drugs, go to a facility to dry out, rinse, repeat, right?
Mhm.
But like, the reason Robert Downey Jr. is as popular as he is isn't just because he's charismatic or capable, and most people don't even know who his father is anymore, right?
Right.
But because he's like, yeah, when I'm not working and I have drugs, I'm a piece of shit, right? And he
Mhm.
has fucked up way more than he has ever done right, by his own admission. I love the idea that Matthew Perry was like, I'm kind of a piece of shit, and I should use some of this, bounty that I've had to make it easier for other people who are struggling with what I struggle with. That's what a good person does. They do
Yep.
exist in Hollywood.
Now, also, when there was the mentioning of friends being problematic, if you can pull up that tweet I have there in the private chat, I want to kind of focus on how problematic is a stupid idea. And for those of you in the audience, whenever you see someone saying something's problematic on Twitter or in real life, you should tell them they're dumb. And this tweet is going to explain why that's dumb. So the tweet is part of a
Give me
chain.
1 second. I got it.
Sure. But this is the punchline of a chain.
Here we go.
So Wolverine is also a nigh immortal white Canadian male who's the embodiment of brutal violence. He is macho as fuck and has an eternal love for Japan and its women's. By today's standards, that's very problematic. He also smokes and drinks.
Mhm.
So everybody else.
He also attempted to steal a man's fiance from him multiple times over.
Yeah. So whenever somebody says something's problematic, I want you to think about that. Because anything is problematic if you want to think about it being problematic. Maybe you should think about whether it's good or bad.
Well, more succinctly, I'm going to throw out the meme. I'm going to say, tell me you've never read an X-Men comic without telling me you've never read an X-Men comic.
I mean, the idea that the X-Men are about inclusivity and diversity, why aren't the Morlocks mainstay X-Men then?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is again a solid differential between classic X-Men and modern X-Men when people start talking about the X-Men, because the classic X-Men at least recognize, yeah, you guys are hiding down here because you're gross. We can't really do anything for you. Modern X-Men just murders them out of hand because fuck Emma Frost.
But here's my argument on that too, because Xavier, being a key strategist and one of the smartest men in the world because of his psychic abilities, he would know hand over fist that someone like Toad is infinitely more valuable than Warren Worthington III.
Oh yeah, no, it's not like there aren't mistakes in the X series, but no, what I'm getting at though is that people don't remember this, but we remember this because we're comic nerds. X-Men was fucking canceled.
Mm-hmm.
It ran for several issues. It did okay. Its numbers weren't good enough. Doom Patrol was actually better, and the X-Men was canceled.
And then Chris Claremont said, "Hey, I got an idea to make X-Men awesome."
Right. What if we bring back this X-Men thing?
And then Chris Claremont made a ton of money, and then Marvel said, "Well, shit, we can't keep paying him money."
But here's the thing: the key argument that Claremont made was not about inclusivity. It wasn't about, well, we need the different Burger King kids' ethnicity grab bag, right? What he said was, well, I'm looking at it, and the Avengers are pretty American, with a couple of exceptions. The Fantastic Four, Americans. All the super teams, really American, because we're all Americans. So what if, since mutants are an underclass of people, they're a worldwide phenomena, what if we made a worldwide super team made up of people from all over? And Wolverine's defining trait wasn't that he was white, it was that he was Canadian, because he was the Canadian on a team with Storm, who was African, and several Americans.
I feel like his defining trait is the adamantium claws and skeleton rune, not that he's Canadian.
No. I mean, he was Canadian was the defining trait of why he got to put on the comic book.
Adamantium bones is his power set.
Yeah. But I mean, on the giant-sized X-Men team, we had Warpath, who is a Native American. We had Sean Cassidy, who was the Banshee from Ireland. Right. We had Storm from Kenya. We had Sunfire from Japan. We had Pyotr Rasputin from Russia.
Real quick, Ayrton, how badly are you kicking yourself right now for not trying to justify Wolverine's skeleton as super suit?
No. So I 1,000%. I came up with an entire argument to do that with, and I was like, "Nah, I'm going to use that some other time."
Now I got an easier argument. He was briefly Apocalypse's Horseman of War, which did give him a super suit.
Oh no, I was just gonna say straight up, just his adamantium skeleton was a super suit. I was prepared to make that argument.
And the white Americans on the team back in Giant X-Men days was Scott and Jean. And Scott, Jean, Colossus, and Storm, and Wolverine became the core 5 characters.
Wasn't Nightcrawler also on that team?
Oh, he was.
German.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was on that team too.
But he's also your beast-alike, because I mean he's representing our blue. He's representing blue Americans the world over.
But yeah, so people, whenever someone says something's problematic, don't listen to that person. They're stupid. But the other celebrity death we want to cover is the next link is Richard Mull. I got that there. Yeah. Bull Shannon from Night Court. There are only 2 original cast members. Well, 2 cast members from Night Court of the main cast from when the show was on the air who are still alive. Which makes the cancellation of the remake version of Night Court kind of.
I mean, let me guess here. Is that Richard Dean Anderson and John Larroquette?
No, Richard Dean Anderson wasn't one of the core characters. You're thinking of no, the judge was a different actor.
Oh, okay.
And that actor's dead.
Oh, okay.
It is John Larroquette and the black lady who was the 3rd bailiff.
The replacement for the previous bailiff.
I've never heard this guy's name before.
Bull the bailiff from Night Court. Harvey Dent from the Batman the Animated Series.
He played Discount the Kurgan in the pilot episode
Slan
of
Quinn.
Highlander, the series.
And he was in many B-level 80s films because he was a really tall guy who could look very scary.
Mm-hmm.
And he was great.
Slan Quinn. He was born in 1987. And he had a mask that was kind of a gimp mask and kind of a gimp mask.
It's kind of extra funny because there's another character in Highlander that played by the guy that did Garrick, Andrew Robinson, who also just has a murderous gimp mask.
I mean, look, if you're going to be going around cutting people's heads off, a gimp mask is certainly a way to go about that.
So,
I always assumed it would be a gorget. Like, I just assumed that these people would just all wear gorgets.
Right, wear fucking neck armor.
Now,
Larry, does this mean for Hombre Lobo that I need to have an antagonist who is a dude in a gimp mask? That is his, his special mask?
I mean, there are some evil luchadors with gimp masks, but to go along with the theme of gimp masks, we have Sean Gordon Murphy spilling some tea on the comic book industry. And so let's listen in on Sean Gordon Murphy talking about how the comic book industry is gimped.
Is it the thing you just posted?
It's the thing I just posted.
Okay.
You're obviously going to want to make sure it plays from the start.
Yeah, we need that sound there, Ayrton, when you get it. Right now it's just loading.
Super crazy liberal woke stuff that's meant to dunk and bash people that don't think like you. That content is not helping.
No.
And the act of hiring someone who works at a comic book shop to be an editor, and they only hire their friends. So you have cronyism. And they're on these message boards reinforcing their so-called wokeness. That's not helpful either. Then they fail down, and then they just hang on to the bottom rung, and they don't go away. Like, I hate to pick on Heather Antos, who I don't know her. She does not like me. And watching, you made a video once, she's almost like a case study of what not to do. Don't get me wrong. This super crazy liberal woke stuff that's meant to dunk and bash people that don't think like you, that content is not helping.
No.
And the act of hiring someone who works at a comic book shop to be an editor,
Okay,
and they only hire their friends, is cronyism. And they're on these message boards.
Yeah. So the stuff that people like us and other people out here on this section of YouTube said, and that Sean Gordon Murphy was laying into us, but he was being a little judicious. Turns out now that Sean Gordon Murphy is completely free and independent from DC Comics management, he can do whatever he wants. He's saying, like, yeah, this is stupid.
I mean, it's extra funny because it's also worth mentioning those fuckers don't go away. And I don't mean they don't go away in industry. I mean, they get their stink everywhere. Because as Larry can attest, we had a bit of a laugh about this. Gail Simone, failed comic author and creator.
Well, that's not fair. That's not fair. She has written many good things in comics. She's also written a lot of stuff that's below her skill level. And
coiner of the term "women in fridges."
That was made up and fake.
Decided to go on the warpath. She chose violence recently to talk shit about the corpse of Gary Gygax.
While his son is in the hospital with a serious illness.
Right. All because Gary Gygax in the 70s said the vast majority of women don't like D&D. Which is still true. The vast majority of women don't care for D&D. That doesn't mean there aren't women in the tabletop gaming sphere. There always have been. And some of the most vociferous defenders of Gary are women saying, Gary was great, you stupid cow!
Also, Lego did a study on how men and boys and women and girls play differently. And that's a thing. Gary argued that through biological determinism there's something in women's brains that makes them not interested in D&D.
That
Yeah.
being said, on this subject, I did in fact
I
spawn.
mean, the thing is that you have very low autism rates in girls. That's probably why.
That's actually a controversial topic. That they're saying that women's autism functions differently.
I actually Emperor Palpatined an excellent shitpost because I made a mistake. I thought that Gail Simone was the author, Devin Grayson, who had made the Nightwing rape scene.
The Nightwing rape, that's Devin Grayson, who has problems.
Right. So I the basic expert, who is a great guy and a wonderful person, doesn't generally get into the shit storms, but sometimes he does. Was arguing with this woman, and he used their conversation to have the opportunity to shill his book, and then his follow-up comment at my encouragement was to say, "Now with 90% less Nightwing rape."
Because she actually always used to downplay all the times that Nightwing has been raped in comics.
It's not rape; it's non-consensual sex.
Well, that was what Devin Grayson said, but he was also raped under the writing of yet another author.
Right.
So should we do a top 5 list of Nightwing rapes?
God no.
Well, no. There's not 5 of them, and Nightwing and Thor have both been raped plural numbers of times.
I think a list about top 5 superpowered rapes would not only be skeevy, it'd be disgusting.
Look, that's that. No, there's not 5 of them, but there is more than one, which is more than one too many.
I mean, it's more than 0, so it's more than it's too many.
The fact that you can make a list out of it is the problem.
And again,
I could see an argument for having one if it's written well and there's some big character thing behind it.
No. The first one was some thought used her magic powers to pretend to be Starfire and trick Dick Grayson to having sex with her. That everybody made fun of him for being a whore.
I mean, you could.
That's why I said if they did it well.
The second one, Dick was kind of physically and mentally broken, and then this chick just got on top of him and rode him.
I mean, you could have a draft of most horrific violations in comics, because that covers a wide range of things. That would work. Because the problem here is that comics go
the Hellfire Gala.
Yes, but no. Comics go through cycles where they decide different subjects are the go-to subject for what is awful this week. To make up for their lack of creativity. Yeah. Because before it was rape, it was cannibalism. Right? You want to make up that a character is super evil, or you want to be super edgy. You just imply that a superhero or a villain eats people. Right? And the only reason they do that is because nobody, except for a Punisher comic, quite had the wherewithal to suggest child diddling. Right?
Marvel Zombies. Oh wait, no, not child diddling.
I mean, Marvel Zombies too. But basically, just the number of things where it's we don't really have a story. We're just going to pull out something gross to shock you, and we're probably going to destroy a character
back on immediately. Okay, I forgot.
So guys, I want to end this show on something positive, which will also be a tie-in for us to do one more day next week. So they're relaunching the Ultimates universe, and they're doing comic books in it. And the relaunch of the Ultimates universe, I have some problems with it, but they're saying, hey, you people complained to us at New York Comic Con about Spider-Man and Mary Jane. Well, we're going to relaunch the Ultimates universe, starting with a Spider-Man and Mary Jane and kids comic book written by Jonathan Hickman. I am buying this book day one, because I want Marvel to understand we want to see this in the main continuity.
I entirely
they're just going
to
turn out to be like plant people, and it's not actually Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
No, it's worse than that. So the Maker, Evil Reed Richards made his own version of the Marvel Universe. And so now, for some reason, Spider-Man becomes a superhero as a middle-aged guy. I'm like going, I'm not sure I like this new weird trend in comic books as a middle-aged guy, but I'll allow it. And Spider-Man has a teenage son and a tween daughter.
It's because they want to turn Spider-Man into Batman. They really want a Spider family in the broader sense. They want Spider-Man to be a range
actually
of
don't.
Spider characters.
They
No,
actually
do.
don't.
That's why.
No.
That's why we have Miles
Spider
Morales.
Editorial
Editorial
does not want that. Spider Editorial wants Peter to go away so that they can replace him with Miles.
They do, but if they have to have him, then they want him to be the mentor to Miles, so Miles can take up the mantle. And that's why we have.
They can't have him be the mentor to Miles because Miles is black. You can't have a white person mentor a black person.
Well,
that's racist, Rune.
No, they can, but then they have to kill him.
No, they can't because that's racist.
The problem is that Into the Spider-Verse made too much money, Larry. It made too much fucking money because they had
it didn't make any money for Marvel. It made money for Sony. And so Marvel Comics isn't going to do that storyline because that would make Sony more money.
But in the broader, that's why we have Miles, that's why we have Spider-Gwen, that's why we have Silk. They want you to believe that being Spider-Man is a racing stripe, and they're going to add as many characters as they have to, and say that it's in a verse.
I mean, they're not using Silk. They're not using Silk except for the once a year Into the Spider-Verse event comic.
Right.
And they're only using Spider-Gwen because she looks cool. They don't have anything good to do with her.
Look, Spider-Gwen has exactly 3 assets that make sales. One of them is in back and 2 of them are in front.
Hey, people, because of the movie, are suggesting she might have a secret 4th asset.
I don't think that's an asset. I think that's a weapon.
That's a mouth.
No. It's certainly not shaped like any mouth, if you know what I'm saying.
It's more of a club. It's more of a sausage, really.
It's more of a sausage.
Well, maybe a Vienna sausage after taking all those hormones.
So, Ayrton, do you have some cringe to take us home with?
I want to end the show on something positive. Ayrton, can you help us out?
Hey,
probably.
We were mostly positive on Spider-Man. Let's
Let me go to my bookmarks and see what I have saved in there.
We need to talk to our.
I do have something that a little off topic, but I do have to showcase. So, a new song dropped this week.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me back to like 2010 because it's a rap song. It's Tyga and YG featuring Lil Wayne, and they made a crucial error in this in the lineup of the song, and they let Lil Wayne go second.
Oh no!
The motherfucker dropped a bar that Eminem went on Twitter and said that he's mad that he didn't think of it. Let me see if I can.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that tweet. But
well, while you guys are digging this up, I think that our music friends in the audience.
I have a video.
If we have music friends, need to make a song clip for this bit where you replace the word country from country roads to cringe. So cringy roads, take me home. To the place that I belong.
All right.
So let's
play real.
I've got my thing. Let me pull it up.
All right.
Church found it.
Oh, okay.
So
again,
Marshall Mathers went to Twitter to talk about this particular bar in the song. Oh God, real or cake?
I mean, the answer is they're all cakes.
It's all real.
They're all real cakes that exist.
Bro, Wayne just said got a bunch of zeros like a bag of new Funyuns. Fuck, why didn't I think of that? But yeah, the name of the song is brand new. He got a couple of double entendres in there. Talks about don't test me like SAT. I get paid like Riri ASAP. So dropping Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's relationship in there, dropping the correlation to bitch better have my money. Then he comes back and he's like, diamonds be dancing and diamonds be talking and they sleep. Diamonds be dancing like my bro CB, referencing Chris Brown, the ex of Rihanna. Then he comes back immediately and says, I popped 2 X's as Dos Equis, referencing Xanax and the fact that Chris Brown is the ex of Rihanna. Then he comes out with a bunch of new hundreds. I got brand new money, brand new hundreds, brand new money, a whole bunch of zeros, like a bag of new Funyuns. And just, he fucks the whole game up in like 16 bars.
Yeah, the bag of new Funyuns, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's look at some cakes, Ayrton. Let's look at some cakes. Because I'm predicting they're all cakes.
Okay. What about you, Rune? What are you predicting?
I suspect they are all real cakes.
Okay. Are you sure?
Oh, that's got to be cake. Oh, no.
Now it's a cake. All right, I like this. I like this swerve. I appreciate the swerve.
You're welcome. This one fucking
Rice.
the last
But they fucking rice on top of
it. Let's just go back and pause it there. Yeah, that one.
That is such a quality shit post. The person who made that should be proud of themselves.
That was good.
Oh, shit.
So I'm going to see Five Nights at
let me-
Freddy's
let-
this
let-
week.
Let me be clear. That was a quality shit post, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I want the person who made it to be proud of themselves.
Are you
And they should
going
be.
to see it, or are you watching it on Peacock?
I'm going to go see it in the
Okay,
theater,
well,
like
I
God
guess-
intended.
I know you're not supposed to use your phone in the theater, but put that bitch on silent. I want you to text me as soon as you figure out the swerve.
I mean, I barely know Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, but you'll
Well,
figure out the swerve.
I mean, I'm going to say 15 minutes in.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
The
I'm
swerve
just-
doesn't come until the end, but I want you to text me as soon as you think you
Right.
figured it out.
Right, but I'm going to tell you, I'm predicting I'm going to guess the swerve in 15 minutes in.
I mean,
is it that they're all cake?
Is
It is not that they're all cake, no.
is it an uncredited
It
cameo
might be that they're
by
all
an
cake.
unspeaking Nicolas Cage?
Ah, that's an excellent movie.
No, that
I'm gonna watch
movie's
the-
actually a piece of shit, but it's funny.
I'm gonna watch the Nick Cage one. We can do a comparison review next week, Larry. How about that?
Heck yeah.
Man, it's going to be a
And-
hard draft next week.
Also,
No, it's
I
not.
think
already have all 5 of my picks.
I mean, we could also do one more day and we can all get angry for an hour. And then we could do the draft picks.
I do like that we've tightened the segment up into a solid 20 minutes. That's more of where I thought it would be. When it took an hour the first time, I was a little worried because there's no way we can dedicate an hour every week to
No.
it. But
No.
But now
But
that we
everybody-
know the vibe, we could make it tight.
It's also arguably our most sort of positive bit.
So far.
You know? It's not a thing where we do a bunch of shit posting. It's not a bunch of racism unless we want to do top 5 most racist superheroes. And even
I
then,
already have my first pick.
Hold up. If we do that, where's Jefferson Twilight come in? Is he racist for being a Blackula hunter or for being a black?
he's racist for only hunting blackulas.
On that list, I think I could pick Hitler 5 times from 5 different incarnations of himself.
That's
That
right.
would
That's
be
right.
impressive. Does that include that time Hitler was Superman from DC Comics?
Yes, it does, and it also includes Japanese Hitler.
Oh, the
I mean,
Japanese Hitler
obviously-
from the Koizumi manga.
Yep.
Excellent,
Obviously,
excellent.
1992 space movie would have to make an appearance in that one.
Yes. We could get a comic adaptation of that. I think Rune would write it for you.
I'd have to be familiar with it, but I mean, I'll write anything for money.
It's only 24 minutes long, Rune. It'll
It
won't take it
involves
out
some.
long.
Look,
It involves some homosexual African Americans from space.
look, I will violently vomit about most things, but if you give me money, I will write it.
I'm just
thing
saying.
is-
You
the thing
keep
is-
you keep hating on it, but you've never watched it.
I'm just saying the more that I despise it, the more expensive the writing job becomes.
Mm.
I'm just saying it's on YouTube, and it's free.
I understand that. I also
But for Rune to soil his soul, he wants to get money first.
yeah, good prostitutes get paid, Ayrton.
I mean, how much
true,
is your
it's true.
soul really worth? And here's one last meme that
Who's
Ironbark
talking about
wanted me to
souls? I'm talking
pull
about
up.
paper.
Yeah, no, that's
We talked about that at the beginning of the show.
yeah, that's
he wanted me to pull it
that's
up.
no good. That's no good. That's no good.
Well, I mean, I am actually enough of an idealistic dipshit to think that World War III is
No.
not happening, but
No, it's the Jim Cramer effect. Jim Cramer is so bad at his job at predicting the stock market. People make more. The fund that invests in the opposite of everything Jim Cramer says outperforms the Dow Jones.
Is that why he was in Iron Man? Because a broken clock can be right twice a day if somebody has a super suit.
Well, no, he's there because everybody knows who he is. But the Jim Cramer effect is awful. Literally anything Jim Cramer says, people just go, "Oh shit, it's gonna happen now," because Jim said it wasn't gonna happen.
Was that another fucking ceiling bird?
It was. We need to talk about the shirts after the show's over. So good night, everybody.
Anyways, good night, everybody.
Oh, we have shirt